Hello, my name is Anuka. Today we are going to do presentation on how having English as a second or additional language may impact other areas of development in children from birth to age 5. The researchers have approximated that the vast number of world's population use more than one language on a regular basis. Recent statistic has shown that 400 million people speak English as a native tongue and 1.5 billion people speak English as second or additional language. Learning a language is a complex process of which the development of grammar is only one part. Other social and psychological factors are important in understanding the process of language acquisition. Research has shown that learners' use and development of English is not restricted to the development of grammatical structures and vocabulary, but also includes the development of communicative aspects such as attracting and sustaining attention, managing interaction in groups and with different speakers, and the development of positive attitudes towards themselves in learners. Children learn language and communication skills from birth by reacting to different sound people make. Long before the child starts to speak, they develop skills to understand speech and language, whether it is English or any other language they speak at their home. Many children grew up hearing and speaking different languages at home. Language development starts with sounds and gestures and then into words and sentences. Vygotsky said, language is the most powerful tool in the development of any human being. It is undeniably the greatest asset we possess. A good grasp of language is synonymous with the sound ability to think. In other words, language and thought are inseparable. He viewed language as an effective means to communicate and to understand the culture. Learning English as a second language may have many challenges as well as advantages in children's development. First, we are going to discuss how having English as a secondary language affect language development. As a child is learning two languages at the same time, child may experience delays in language development, including grammar and vocabulary. But recent research has dispelled this myth, as eventually children will be able to surpass in language learning skills. However, these speech and language difficulties might occur in bilingual language. Vygotsky argues that learning a second language must be studied in all its breadth and its all its depth, as it affects the whole mental development of the child's personality taken as a whole. Children learning a second language have better language skills. They tend to have better vocabulary, grammar, and advanced reading skills than children with just one language skill. Learning second language also strengthens communication abilities. The challenge acquiring two languages is sometimes children may switch from one language to another in same sentence, which is called code switching, or it may influence on few aspects like word choice, pronunciation and intonation, sentence structure patterns. Next, we are going to discuss how having English as a secondary language affect cognitive development. Cognitive development refers to how children think, explore, and learn to figure certain things out. Several studies and research have found that children who learn two or more languages are better at planning, multitasking, have better memory, mental flexibility, nonverbal problem-solving tasks, capacity to judge the grammatically of sentences, distinguishing between semantic similarity and phonetic similarity, and understanding the conventional origin of names. It can also lead to better academic performance later in life. They show flexibility in cognitive thinking because of acquisition of more language and have greater creativity skills because of their language skills. Learning English as second language does not negatively affect cognitive development. However, in some cases, there can be challenges which can have more to do with child's individual experience and support. If a child is not fully exposed to English, then it may not lead to proficiency. If they do not have full support from parents and educators, for example, not providing educational materials. I'm going to hand over the presentation to my partner.
Hi, my name is Eliza. I will continue the presentation discussing how English as a secondary language affects social development. According to neuropsychologist Boxer, children who grow up speaking two languages will be socially intelligent. Vygotsky believes children learn through social interaction. They have a greater understanding of other people's thoughts, feeling, and desire. Children learning English as additional language means they will feel comfortable in diverse society. Learning a new language means they will be exposed to distinct culture, which promotes cultural awareness and tolerance. They can adjust to any other culture other than their own and will have appreciation for diverse cultures. It can also boost children's confidence in social gathering. The disadvantage of children learning two languages in social development is children learning English as second language can be socially inactive as they cannot communicate with others easily. This could lead to them being frustrated or confused as they are unable to convey what they want to say or what they feel and may lose confidence. They may feel their language or cultures were not valued by others. Next, we are going to discuss how having English as a second language affect emotional development. While multilingual children show many cognitive developments, there are also certain impacts on emotional development. Learning a new language can give a sense of achievement and can boost self-esteem in children. The children also tend to have more empathy due to multiple languages and culture. They may develop strong social skills because they can interact with a wide range of people, which can lead to an increase in confidence and better emotional relations. Bilingual children tend to have less behavioral problems than the children speaking one language and have strong family cohesion and higher self-esteem. The disadvantage is the pressure of learning English as additional language can result in lack of stable emotions. Children learning additional language might experience anxiety and frustration as they are unable to express themselves, which can also lead to social isolation. Children learning English as additional language need direct instruction and language teaching, appropriate time to gain new language, and standard exposure to English. This requires early childhood teachers to be well informed about the way children learn a second language, the stage of acquisition, and the recognition that children vary in their pace of acquisition. Parents should know the importance of maintaining the first language and they should be confident in speaking their home language or first language. It is a right written in the Convention of Right of the every child to maintain the first language of the children. In this slide, we are going to discuss about learning impacts on school readiness. In the past, people used to believe that school readiness means children knowing about letters and numbers and their maturity level and children's chronological age. However, a children cannot thrive at school if they haven't built their skills like communication, interacting with others cooperatively, and following instructions. The two forms of language are repetitive and expressive language. Repetitive language covers listening, understanding, and reading, whereas expressive language covers speaking, gesturing, and writing. Having skills in repetitive and expressive language helps in school readiness by understanding classroom rule, following verbal instruction, participating appropriately in social interactions, and by describing past events and talking about experiences, making prediction on what will happen in the future. The slide shows 9 educational implications of growth and development. Children learning English as additional language need direct instruction and language teaching, appropriate time to gain new language, and standard exposure to English. This requires early childhood teachers to be well informed about the way children learn a second language, the stage of acquisition, and the recognition that children vary in their pace of acquisition. They must provide a supporting environment and provide the learners the same time. Parents should be equally responsible and need to provide a loving and supporting environment for the children to learn language. Educators must establish daily routines and behavioral expectations from the learners. And the important thing an educator and parents must do for learning English language is the repetition. Repeating the same thing more than once will provide children a good understanding of what is being said. Parents and educators should frequently praise them for trying to speak the English, which can boost their confidence. While language plays a very important part, the parents and educators can support in language development of a child by reading books and sharing stories, engaging in conversation with children, responding when the child communicates with you, repeating and building on what your child says, introducing unfamiliar words every day, and by learning rhymes and song in English. Early experience with books and storytelling and conversation with them help to construct the robust foundation of language, cognitive, and pre-literacy capabilities required for school achievement. At the end, the summary of this presentation is to describe how children learning English as a second language or additional language affect the development of the child. And we would like to thank our lecturer Anthony for giving us this opportunity to present on this topic. It was very nice to do the research and do the video presentation. Thank you so much.